Hey Savvy people, it's Savvy Nick here. Today we'll be exploring Parrot 4.7 Linux for software development. This is a first stream of mine, so I'm kind of getting used to things, so forgive me if it's a little messed up at all or anything. I'm missing something here. I'm not sure if you can hear me, guys, so let me know in the comments, or actually there's a live chat, so let me know in the live chat. First thing I'm going to do here is kind of just go through and look at the Parrot Universe on parrotlinux.org, kind of discover what they have here. I've been interested in this distribution for a little while, just to kind of see what comes pre-installed as far as software development goes. Parrot Linux is a distribution that's focused on security, privacy, and creating easy to deploy development environments for the end user. It's very lightweight. It also focuses on making the transition from Windows to their distro very easy because it's the KD desktop environment. They also supply tools for pen testing, forensics, engineering, hacking, and privacy. So just kind of reading through here. Let's see. So you can see they have different types of distributions here available for different types of users. Whoever wants to use it, they can make that decision themselves. We're going to go back to Parrot Linux. And then let's see. What else we got? Let's download. So as you can tell here, we got three different types. The security build. This is intended for the pen testing, privacy, digital forensics, reverse engineering, software development. We're interested in this software development portion. Then we also have the home workstation. The home workstation is just the lightweight system for daily use, and they claim that privacy protection is pretty big for them. Other builds are going to be for ARM embedded systems. Not really interested in that. Let's see what else we got. Well, we kind of got the features here at the bottom. Tells you the different types of architectures they have available, what they're good for, what the current latest build is for the kernel, it seems, what it's based off of. So this is a distribution based off the Debian 10 platform. The release models, a rolling release, what the default desktop environments are, if sandboxes are available, Office Suite, Web Suite. It's very cool. I like the layout here that they have given you. Makes it really easy to understand what all is included in the operating system. Hopefully you guys can hear me here. I'm not sure. Let's see. So if we hit the download, I'm again interested in the security one. We'll hit the download, and then we get a few more options actually. We get options between installing it with the desktop interface Mate or the KD Plasma. And it even has a virtual appliance, so you can just go ahead and, I'm assuming, it's OVA format, so you can go ahead and import this into such things as VirtualBox or another virtualization software, where you can virtualize Parrot Linux 4.7 and test it out before installing it on some other system. That's very nice of them. Most don't supply a virtual image. Instead, you just download and install the normal ISO. Which one I'm going to, the one I'm going to select today would be the Parrot Security, the Mate desktop environment. And I have that running, so I'm going to go ahead and bring that up real quick. And here we are. I got the Parrot Linux 4.7 up here on my screen. Hopefully you guys can see this. Let me know if you guys can hear me or not. That'd be greatly appreciated. You can go ahead and use the chat if you want. So I really wanted to go through and check their software development on this particular Linux. They claim that they have tools already pre-installed, environments and sandboxes for software development. We'll see what that looks like here in a moment. Hey, Zapper Danger, how are you doing? Finally see someone in the chat. Can you hear me all right? So I'm going to go here into the menu. I do like this layout here that they have in Parrot Linux 4.7. It really reminds me of kind of Windows. You know, you got your start menu at the bottom. You can search for applications up here, and then you can switch workplaces here in the corner. Overall, I even like the fact that you can highlight things. Not a lot of desktops in Linux can even highlight anymore. And just the fact that they show your applications here on the back desktop here. Oh, great. Thanks, Zapper, for confirming that. Makes me feel better that I'm not just talking to myself here. Going back to this, we'll go ahead and look at their programs here. So they have all sorts of different subcategories here. Games, graphics, internet, office. So here's pen testing, or short for penetration testing. So different. You can actually use this. Yeah, I agree. The layout is pretty cool. I like this parrot in the background. Actually, whoever made that desktop image did a really good job. Sorry for the delay there. Pen testing here. You know, you could penetrate test software or networks or whatever. I haven't used any of this. It's interesting. I never really got into pen testing. I'm sure some of you guys may have. Programming's where I'm more interested in the sandbox, so I'm going to hit on the programming. And now we get in the subcategory of programming a bunch of different tools that we can use for programming. So we have Cutter here. I believe if we scroll over some of these, it'll tell us what they actually are, because I haven't used any of these. So Cutter is not really explained. DB Beaver Community is a universal database manager in SQL client. So you could use this to test databases. That's interesting. Edb Debugger. I'm assuming this is just a debugger of theirs that you can use. Don't know if any of this is developed by Parrot. But it seems to come standard. So just like, I'm sure, like GDB debugger, so you can debug your applications. Genie is that Genie? It's Genie. A fast and light IDE using GTK+. Very cool. We got Git installed here. GNU Radio Companion. Meld. SQL Database Browser, so you can browse your database that you have set up on Parrot. So I wonder if they set up a native database here. If I click this, what happens? Now you can create a database. So let's just do that real quick to see what happens. So test database. SQL. So it seems like it has SQLite installed as the standard. You hit save here. Very cool. So you can create a table. We'll create a table, the test table. Why not? Let's get really unique with our names here. So what kind of schema we want? Schema, I mean. Create table, test table. And then we can add fields in. So field 1, field 2, blah, 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 as many fields as we want. Then the different types here. So let's just change up a little bit of the types. We'll make this a text, we'll make this a real, and we'll make this a numeric format. Again, guys, if you're just joining here, This is kind of an overview of what software development tools that Parrot Linux 4.7 has. Zapper asks if it is better than Windows 10. Well, I guess that's kind of relative there. In my opinion, I do like using it better than Windows 10 just because it's Linux, and I enjoy using Linux more than I like Windows because it's a Unix-based system. Especially for software development, makes it really easy to deploy things for software development, and there's not all the clutter and unnecessary applications installed on here like there is on Windows. You also get to customize it. Hopefully that answers your question there. So I'm going to go ahead and select OK to make my test table, and pretty cool. We got a desktop. We can save our project, it seems like. Test database, save. It's already there, but we're going to replace it. So I am kind of familiar with SQLite. It's kind of file-based for the database itself. Just reading your reply there, Zapper. Thank you. So if you write the changes here, that will actually save these changes to the file that is SQLite. SQLite isn't really it doesn't deploy an instance per se of the desktop environment on whatever system you're running, but it really is just focused on one single file. And that file is where it saves all the database table IDs and fields, and it's very particular to keeping it in a file structure instead of on some server instance program. So it's pretty cool that you just get this right out the box with Parrot. I know some, especially Linux platforms, don't come with anything pre-installed. This is just something really easy to use in order to create a database right off the bat and just start querying stuff. Seems like you can execute SQL here, so let's just give this a shot. Let's see, select all from test table. I believe this is how you do it. Been a little while. So 0 rows returned, took a millisecond to do. So let's go ahead and see if we can't add something into one of these. Oh, sweet. Slithering Demon, nice to see you on. I'm glad Zapper Danger got you on here. Thanks for letting me know. We're gonna go ahead and insert fields here. So we got field 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is just filtering, it seems like. I'm trying to figure out how to add some data into one of these fields here. So I think you can. Oh, it's new record. We'll go figure. We can go ahead and edit these now, I'm sure. So let's see, test, and can we apply? Yes, we can. Now it's let's see, it was an integer field, so we want to make sure we put an integer in. We'll go back and change this to a number here. 1, 2, 3, apply. So field 2, what's field 2? We call that a text, so test text. Throw that in there. Apply data mismatch. Why? Go back. Field 2 is text. So I'm not sure why we are mismatching there, but I'm just going to try applying something again. Okay, well, test. It took it this time for whatever reason. Since we got a few things in here, I'm going to go back to execute SQL and see if I can execute the statement now. Now we have now we have some data coming back to us from the test table. Field 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3, and test, the ones that we just put in. If we want, we can write changes. Remember, if you're using SQLite, this is very important. If you don't write the changes, they're not going to be saved. So make sure to write changes I'm going to quit messing with this SQLite for now. I just wanted to check it out because it came standard with Parrot Linux 4.7 here. So far, it's pretty nice for programming, just because it gives you tools right out the bat. I mean, most platforms don't do this for you. I'm going to go ahead and try using this Genie now. I believe it's pronounced Genie. If it's not, someone else can correct me here. What we have here, it says this is Genie 1.35, and we have a new file called Untitled. I think the best thing to do here is to go ahead and let's create a new one. So we can either do new with template or just new. New with template, let's give it a shot, see what it looks like. C++ is what I'm going to use today, just to kind of try the IDE out. I don't know what it normally looks like, so we'll try to compile some code. Hopefully we can compile a hello world main CPP file here in a moment. Go ahead and select the main CPP, and if we open this up, let's look through what it gave us. Alright, so now that it created this untitled CPP file, you can see that it actually stubbed out some code for you here at the bottom. And it's going to print out, let's see, out, give me a bottle of rum. This is, that's kind of funny that Parrot kind of defaulted this, or I should say this application defaulted this. Again, this is Genie for Parrot Linux 4.7. So let's see how we can compile here. I am going to look through these tabs here. So here's build the current file. I haven't ever used this IDE before. It's kind of intuitive, I'd say. It has all the similar stuff that I would see in any other IDE. Oh, we got another guy here from Zapper Danger. Thanks guys, and I appreciate it. Best streamers probably a little bit too much there, but thanks for acknowledging the stream at least. We'll keep going here. So where was I? I was going to compile this here, but anyways, yeah, it does look very similar to most of the other one. Most of the other IDEs that I've used in the past. Start a new project or set up how you want the document to function as far as line wrapping, breaking, indentations for your document, a search so you can find different functions throughout the IDE. It also has some interesting additions here. You can insert comments and dates. I guess if you didn't want to type in your own date, you can go ahead and use their format real quick, and it'll pull from the clock. Yeah, Hydra. This is Linux, and we're using Parrot Linux 4.7 for software development. We're just kind of checking it out at this point and seeing what IDEs are available. You also have insert include, so you can include stuff from different libraries, and it looks like it's smart enough to tell whether or not you're using C++ or whatever other language. So it makes it easy to go ahead and include some of the standard libraries. So you can see C string if you want to include strings. You also have math and other libraries. IO stream, so you can print from and to the console. So let's go back and build this finally. So I found this build button here, so we'll build the current file. And that failed, and I can already tell why it failed. No input files. Okay, so reason being, I think they forgot to specify the namespace here for some reason. So you can do this right here, standard cout, and then standard, or the std : so it knows what end line and cout to pick. Oh, Zapper Danger, thanks for letting me know. So, are you guys seeing, or am I talking and you can hear me before you can see what I'm doing on the screen, or it's just delayed in general by 20 seconds? And now that I put this standard in here, I'll go ahead and compile it again. We will call this main CPP. Forbids, oh, sure, they forgot to put the int in front of here to define what the function returns for C++. So it's interesting that they had this C++ template for main, but they didn't really do it correctly. So it's interesting that the IDE supplies this, but they make you fix some stuff before it actually compiles here. So now that I got this int here, maybe it compiles better. And sure enough, compilation has been successfully finished here at the bottom, you can tell. So this is a little hard to see, which I don't necessarily like. Blue on the dark gray kind of throws me off, but maybe if they chose white or some other color, that would have been nicer. So if you're new and stopping by to watch this live stream today, please take a moment and subscribe. And you can even hit the notification bell if you'd like to get notifications of these in the future. This is just something new that I'm trying out. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it. And then, so now that we've successfully compiled it, we also want to be able to run it. So run or view the current file. So if we hit that button, we'll see a terminal pop up, and sure enough, it says, give me a bottle of rum. So seems to work just fine. Great to hear. Thank you, Zapper. And yeah, I've noticed that it's about at least 20 seconds delayed myself. So sorry about that, but I'm not sure how I get around that actually. Maybe it's just a thing with YouTube here. Either way, we'll continue running here. Last thing I'll do is maybe I'll just print out a few numbers here, and then we'll get pretty close to ending this stream, because I think we've used enough time here, and I got to get going as well. So we will go a little bit more in depth with whatever other programming utilities Linux 4.7 supplies. So back to this, maybe we can do a for loop. Let's see if I remember here. We'll do an integer of numbers, and let's just do 100 numbers. And if for int equal to 0, and we'll go, let's see. It doesn't actually fill in like braces for you, which some people like, some people don't. I'm sure there's a way to set that up. So if you have a open brace, that it automatically closes the brace for you. But we'll work without that right now. While I is less than, well, we had 100 elements and we're starting from 0, so go to 100, and we'll just increment that number each time. Let's go ahead and place, forgot a semicolon here, int numbers. So for every number, we'll go ahead, make that an I equal to the current I. So it should just populate all the numbers. And it's actually called numbers, so why don't I name it right? See if this will compile real quick. Warning. Oh yeah, it said compilation was actually successfully finished, and I've been just chasing my tail here. That's funny. So we'll run the current file here. I didn't get any kind of crazy errors or anything, so that's good. So maybe we can just print these numbers out. So yeah, so for int j equal to 0, j less than 100, we'll go ahead and print them out. So let's do cout. Don't forget the standard cout number, and we'll go ahead and do numbers I. Standard, we'll do an end line here to finish it up. See if we get something out of here. So compile it, run it. Oh, I want j here. Less than 100, numbers. Let's compile it. And then we can rerun it again, and you can see that we get all the numbers printed out here. So this compiler is really nice. I just wanted to do just a little bit of stuff here just to kind of see how, while I'm typing, if it's automatically filling in braces and if it's kind of trying to suggest things for us in this IDE. It doesn't really do that, and I'm not sure if there's a way to set that up. But overall, this seems like a pretty nice IDE to use. And the fact that it just comes standard out of the box with Linux, this Parrot Linux 4.7, it's great. I'll go ahead and exit out of that and exit out of my program there. Go back into the programming tab and check out what else they have here. We got, let's see, Sql Database Browser. We already looked at that. Code editing, refined. I'm not sure what this is. Let's go ahead and boot this application real quick and check it out. VS Codium. Visual Code Studio. Oh, this is cool. You can install support for different types of programming languages here. And I wonder if this is another IDE. It kind of looks like one. So it's got debugging features. So it comes with more than one IDE, it seems like. That's also cool. And it kind of reminds me of Visual Studio. I wonder if that's what it's or if that's what it's based off, the Microsoft Visual Studio. Yeah, you can change your command palette. Okay. You can debug in here. Switch files, move things. So let's just try using this real quick as well. So this run task, run build. Okay. So what happens if we include, let's see, IO stream in here. We'll do int main. And this one I'm liking more because it's already opening and closing the braces for me, kind of automatically suggesting things. The color palette doesn't look as good. It's not highlighting data types, it seems like, but maybe that's just because I got something messed up in here. I've never used this one as well, so bear with me here. So we'll just do the standard cout. We'll do the basic hello world and see how we can compile this and view it. So I'm going to save this as, that was just my virtual box running in the background, so I'll do file save as main cpp. We'll save that on the desktop's fine for me. So, okay, now that I went ahead and told it what kind of extension it is a CPP file, and now it's automatically switched up the data types here for me. So now I see main as a function in yellow. The includes are kind of like this purplish violet color. You can see that int is, the data type int is now blue. So this looks a lot better. And I can already tell you I prefer using this one over the other one. Let's see how we can go ahead and run the task. I'm not sure how we run build task. There are in the workspace. So I'm not sure how to build here. or if you can build. Debug. I'm trying to search for a build, but let's see, run selected text. So it's bash here. Output. Yeah, I just don't see anywhere where you can actually build the program. All right, well, we will check some of this in the corner here, debug. Wonder what happens when we hit debug. No configurations. Let's see. Debug console. What other options do we have? Well, we'll just go ahead and manually run it. So after I've used that, this is how I do it anyways for the most part, we'll navigate our way to the desktop. So we'll use the user. Let's see, what is the default user here? Now, home user. Desktop is where we save that file. We can use G++ in order to compile this thing. So main CVP, our output is going to be, I'll just call it main. It compiled just fine. Main, and voila, hello world spit out. So I don't know how to compile with this VS Codium, but I do like it better as far as how it handles the syntax, but it looks like the other one, which was called, let's look, programming, it's called Genie, is a more encompassing IDE. So it depends on what you like to use. So if you like formatting and you're more partial to that, you might want to use this VS Codium versus the Genie, which has everything built in, so a compiler built in, a debugger built in. So I hope you guys enjoyed exploring Parrot 4.7 with me. Let me know how I can improve these live streams in the future. Also, again, make sure to subscribe for future videos and streams. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on another stream. Thanks, guys.